Rabbi Yesi said, "Ilav hayema de kagorim, kama Yesi ike b'shuka." Rabbi Yesi said, if it weren't for this day that brought about something special, who would I be? I would be just another Joe in the streets. Well, what does that mean? The simple meaning, of course, without Torah, how would you be a Rabbi Yesi? How would you be a Talmud Chacham if there was no Torah? But there's got to be much more to it than that. Kama Yesi Ike B'Shuka means there are many people who don't have a special relationship with the Eibishter. They're just in the street. They're single. They're not married. They're not involved in a special relationship. When did this special relationship become possible? On this day, the day of Shavuos, the giving of the Torah. Now we find that Torah conveys its message on the level of Pshat, on the level of Remez, Drush, Seid. In the Pshat, where in the event of Shavuos, where do we see that this is a special relationship that makes you a partner in a special commitment that's different from everybody else in the street? In the Pshat. See, in the Remez we see it in the first word of the Seres HaDibros, the first words of the Ten Commandments. Anochi is the Rosh Tevis. The letters stand for the four words, Anon Nafshi Ksavis Yehovis. I am giving you my soul in writing. So in the world of Remez, like Rosh Tevis and the Gematrias and so on, we see it. The reason that the Torah chooses to use the word Anochi instead of Ani is because it wants to give you the Remez that the giving of the Torah is the beginning of a very intimate and personal relationship. I'm giving you my soul. Anon nafshi ksavis Yehovis. I'm writing my soul to you. That's in the world of Remez. In the world of Seid, I'm sure there are plenty of Kabbalistic insights into the giving of the Torah and so on. Where is it in the Pshat? In the simple meaning, in the literal meaning of the words, where do we see that giving of the Torah was a marriage, it was a special relationship, it was taking people off the street and making them unique and special? So yeah, the Medrash says that it was Yom Chasunose Zumatan Torah, but where do we see it? So if you translate the simple words, Anochi Hashem Elikecha, if you translate it properly, Anochi Hashem Elikecha means, I, God, want to be yours. I want to be your God. I mean, yours. That is the most personal and the most effective proposal for marriage in the world. Because we say, for example, Baruch Atah, the beginning of every bracha, Baruch Atah. What is the beginning of the chuppah ceremony? Harei at. Atah, at. Baruch Atah means this is about you. Harei at, mikodeshesli, means this is about you. So even in the simple meaning of the words, if we translate it correctly, the first words of the Ten Commandments, the Eibishter is saying, I, even though I am God, I want to be yours. Anochi Hashem Elikecha. This explains our reaction and our response. Because we understood this and because we felt this, that the Eibishter is asking us for an intimate relationship, for a marriage, so to speak, that's why our answer was Naseh Vinishma. The other nations didn't say that. When they were offered the Torah, they asked for a little explanation. You want to give us the Torah. What is it about? You want to give us mitzvahs. What's a mitzvah? Sounds like a very reasonable question. And the Gemara, in fact, says that there was a skeptic who said to one of the sages, "You're a very smart people, and yet you put your mouth before your ears? You said yes before you even heard what it was about? That's not smart." And he's right. It's not smart. You don't sign on a dotted line before you read the contract. And we're supposed to be a smart people. So how is it that we said Naseh before Nishma? We put our mouth before our ears? It's because we did hear, but we heard something different. They heard commandment, so they asked, what's a commandment? We heard the Eibishter propose an intimate relationship, so we said yes. What's the difference what the relationship will require? We want the relationship. Yes, we're yours. Now, what will it take to be yours? Whatever. If it makes me yours, that's what I want. So when the Eibishter said, I have a Torah, we heard, I want to be yours. Anechi Hashem Elikecha. So our response was, well, of course. If you want to be ours, then we are yours. What should we do when we are yours? Whatever. Whatever it will be, it'll be wonderful. So we understand mitzvahs very differently. Mitzvahs are not good suggestions on how to make it through life with the least amount of damage. It's not a way of getting to heaven. The mitzvah is, how do I connect to you so that we become one? What is the middle ground? What is this thing that you're connected to and I connect to it, and then we become one? So the Eibishter gives us 613 things, and then a bunch of other things that came later, even more intimate, even more personal, even more delicate, that bring us together and make us one. So what is a mitzvah? A mitzvah means a connection to Him. How do we connect to Him? Because He is so connected to the mitzvah means so much to Him that when we do the mitzvah for Him, we become the mitzvah. Schar mitzvah, mitzvah. Now this is all very nice because a proposal for marriage is a voluntary thing. I ask you to marry me, you have to decide. If you're very excited about it, that's good. Then we have a marriage and we have a very good relationship, which is alive and enthusiastic and intense. But it's not like a father and a son, because it was a matter of a choice. If you choose something, no matter how deeply you want it, you chose it, you can unchoose it. If you get into a really bad mood, you change your mind. Now you want out. In order to make our relationship with Him more than a marriage, certainly with all the virtues of a marriage, but even more, even better, even deeper, the Gemara says that the Eibishter put the mountain over our heads and said, you must accept this or else. Why did He need to do that if we were already excited about getting married? We already said yes. We already understood that He's giving us His soul and He's asking for, and we wanted that and we said yes to Him and we didn't care what it would take. Why does He have to hold the mountain over our heads? The Alter Rebbe says, Ayid nicht will und nicht ken sein abgerissen von Elikus. A Jew doesn't want to be separated from God, and he can't be separated from God. What are these two things? When we said Naseh Vinishma, we were expressing the fact that we don't want to be separated. We don't want. But that is a matter of choice. The second thing, a Jew can't be separated. Even when he tries, even when he wants to drop out, even when he rebels and he says, I don't want to be Jewish, he can't. He can't quit. He is Jewish by fact, not by choice. How did that happen? What implanted that into our souls for all time to come? Holding the mountain over our head. In other words, it wasn't enough to say, yes, I want, I'm excited, That would make us not want to be separated. What makes us unable to separate, even when we're in a very bad mood? What makes somebody Jewish even if he thinks he's not? That was the mountain. The Eibishter held the mountain over our heads and said, you can't separate from me anymore. This is not only like a marriage, it's also like a father and a child, like a brother and sister, like two sisters. You can't. This relationship is not only a matter of choice, it's also a matter of fact. So that helps resolve the conflict. Are we being forced to be Jewish, or is being Jewish an option? It's certainly not an option. We are born Jewish, and we can't stop being Jewish. And that's because holding the mountain over our head was basically saying, this is not an option. You can't not. You have to understand it a little differently. It's not like, yes, you have the option of choosing not to, and then I'll drop the mountain on your head and you'll be finished. No. It wasn't a threat to force us to choose. It was saying, my relationship to you is not negotiable, and therefore I want you to relate to me that way also. It's not, I want to be your God, I am your God. That's the reality, that's the fact, and it can't change. So what choice do we have? We have a choice of participating, being a participant in our Jewishness, or to be a Jew without participating, which is not much of a choice. So these are the two parts to Shavuos. On the one hand, God gave us a bunch of options. 613 mitzvahs. Choose to do them or choose not to do them. Bechira chofshis. At the same time, we became so Jewish that we no longer have a choice in that. So that a Jew doesn't want to be separated when he's in a good mood, and he can't be separated even when he's in a bad mood. And that's why we have to accept the Torah b'simcha u'b'pnimius. B'simcha is a choice. B'pnimius, there is no choice. We are Jewish, deep down, permanently, unalterably, insanely Jewish. So Shavuos is a Yom Tov because something special happened, and Shavuos is also a fact. The Torah belongs to Jews, Jews belong to Torah, both Torah and Jews belong to the Eibishter belongs to us. This is not negotiable. This is reality. And that's what the Zohar, the secret of the Zohar, that Eiraisa, Kudsha B'richa, and Yisrael are kul echad. We're really all one. And that's why we can't be separated. On top of that, we have a pleasure in this relationship so that we don't want to be separated. So have a happy and pnimiyzdike experience of Shavuos. And Rabbi Yossi said, were it not for this day, I would be just an ordinary Yossi. Does that mean that he now has the option of being someone special, or that he has no option? He is someone special because that's the way we are. A good Yantif.